Hi, I'm Sandy Harka with SandyLovesStamping.com. We are here today to create 3 beautiful cards with the Magnolia Mood online exclusive product. If you would like to get free card kit with all the supplies you need to make these cards, you can place an order online using the special host code below. You need to do that before April the 30th in order to get your kits. A $35 order will get you the kit, 2 of each of the cards we're doing today. If you spend $50, you'll also get a pack of embellishments. Don't forget the order needs to be placed by April the 30th. You can get the measurements and supply list below for free. There's a link below this video, and you can see that link below, so you can get those anytime. I think that's about it. So give me a moment, and we'll get to stamping. All right, this is the Magnolia Mood set. As I mentioned, it is an online exclusive product. That just means you won't see it in a catalog, that you'll need to go online to find out the information. But all that information is going to be in the supply list and measurements that you can get for free below at that link. Okay. All righty, let us start with this one. And you can see there is a lot of gold and shine on this. There's also a dimensional backing. I don't know where that came from. All right, so let us begin. The first thing that we're going to grab is the layer that has the, I call it a hatch, crosshatch background. This is one of the 3 folders in the basic 3D embossing folders. Those are also an online exclusive product. Okay, so we are going to stamp birthday blooms for you. And it looks like that's a little crooked. Let's straighten that up. There we go. And we're going to do it in gold embossing. So we're going to use our embossing buddy first to make sure that we don't have any fingerprints up in that area where we're going to do our stamping. We're going to stamp the verse in Versamark, which is your embossing ink. So we're going to ink up our stamp really well. And then we're going to stamp, and we're going to, because of the embossing there, we're going to make sure that we press really well on that stamp. Next thing we're going to do is just grab a catch card and lay that on top. Let's make that go down, and we're going to sprinkle with our gold embossing powder. Sprinkle that on there and then tap off the excess. Looking good. So before I heat that up, I do want to get rid of my gold embossing powder, get that back in the container so I don't blow it all over the room. All right, see, I got a little bit on my mat, so let's get that off. All right, let's hold this and our heat gun. Now you want to hold your heat gun pretty steady. You don't have to wiggle it back and forth because that really doesn't help you out too much. Just hold it still until you see all that embossing powder turn shiny gold. Once you see that happen, then you can move it on to the next section. And then just make sure when you get finished that it's all shiny gold, because if it isn't, it will smear when you touch it. All right. Okay, let's lay that over to the side for a second. Let it cools down in about 3 to 5 seconds, so you don't have to wait long. But while we're waiting, let's go ahead and work on our card base. This is Flirty Flamingo, and it opens at the bottom. The next layer that goes on is going to be our Petal Pink. So on the back side, we're going to add a little bit of glue. Don't need a whole lot. And we're going to center that so that you have about 1/8 of an inch of your card base showing all the way around. There we go. Awesome. Now, this piece is definitely cooled off, and we're going to, on the back side, we're going to add a bit of glue to this one. And we're going to layer that on top of your Petal Pink layer. so that you have just a tiny bit of that showing all the way around. I'm gonna adjust this camera a little bit. I think it's not quite getting all of the, whoops, all of the video in there. And so when I did that, I pushed the layer off center. All right, so let's try that again. There we go. That's better. All right, so we've got our card base and our layers done. We're gonna grab a die cut, and is that just not absolutely stunning? This is one of the dies in that bundle, so you don't want to miss getting that bundle. It is just beautiful. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the solid areas on the back of this, and you don't need to cover all of the die cut. You just need to cover some of the spaces. And I usually pop the glue where it has the most solid cardstock. All right, there we go. So we're going to pop this over here in the lower right corner, and it's kind of a diagonal. So we're going to press that down. Wonderful. Now, the last thing that we have to do, so this has been a really simple card, but it is beautiful. Just simply the die cut alone is just awesome. So you have one large and two small of the, and these are in the neutrals sequence pack. So we're going to put the big one down here, and we're going to put the other two small ones over in this area, just like this. So we have our triangle going there. All right, and that's it, ladies. That gorgeous card doesn't take but a minute to do. So let's move on to the next card. And the next card, we're going to actually use the stamps in that set. Again, they are just so beautiful. You just don't want to miss this set. It's just gorgeous. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is grab the big stamp. So this is the one that has the two blooms and the leaves with it. And this is what the die cut looks like. And I'm going to lay that on my silicone mat just simply so that you can see it. Okay. Let's see. We've got the Memento ink. And we're using Memento because we are going to use our blends just a little bit to give it a little bit of color. All right, we're going to ink this up. And we're going to try it out over here on the edge of my placemat just to make sure we're inking it really well. I think because there's a lot of inking going on here, I'm going to ink it with my my ink pad this way just to make sure I get all that center covered well with ink. Now I've got my die cut here. Here's that bloom. And I'm going to try to get a couple of those pieces lined up so that I get a good imprint. All right, there we go. Press down on that really well. All right, there we go. Now you can see that there is some coloring going on here. And as I mentioned, we're going to do that with our blends. And I want to show you the technique on that because we're not coloring, as you can see, we're not coloring the whole petal. So I'm just taking my, and this is dark petal pink. So I'm taking my marker and flicking up from the center, okay? Just like that. So you don't have to, you can color the whole thing if you want to, but you're just flicking up. And then for the leaves, all the leaves, I'm just using the light granny green, okay? So instead of having you sit there and watch me do all that for the whole thing, here's the one that's done. So you can see how I flicked up in there. And then I just colored the leaves with the granny, okay? All right, let's grab the card base. And it is the thick basic white. And I use the thick white because that gives it a little bit more stability, more so than just the regular white cardstock. The next layer that goes on is the granny green. So we are going to place a little glue on the back side and nail that down. So you have about 1/8 of an inch showing of your card base all the way around. Now this layer is embossed, dry embossed with your layering florals folder. And I'm just not sure the folders get any prettier than this. It is beautiful. It is gorgeous. All right, so we are going to add a little bit of glue to the back side, and we're going to center this on the granny green. Beautiful. Just like it is. It's just beautiful. All right, we are going to nab on the back of our die cut here. We're going to nab it with a few dimensionals. Let's pop one up here, maybe one here, and then we'll put one down here in the corner, and that should be totally enough for us to hold on there just fine. All right, so we're going to nail this down here in sort of the lower right corner. The leaves we can kind of point in this direction, and then your bud is kind of headed upwards. All right, just press that down. Beautiful. Now you can see that we have some little leaves out here in the glimmer paper. That is also an online exclusive product, and it's got olive, and I believe it's melon mambo and white glimmer paper in the same pack. So that's totally awesome. All right, so we're going to take one of these solid double leaves, and I'm going to use glue dots on the back of that to hold those on. So I'm going to put one glue dot on one of the leaves, and we're going to slide that up here behind the bud. Okay. We've got this one, which is the, well, you couldn't see that. There you go, right there. We're going to use the one that has the die cut out part. So that's really pretty. Some of these dies could just be used for the card itself. And then we're going to place that right there. And this is going up here on the other side of your bud and slides right down right there. So you can see plenty of that. Wonderful. Now, the second set of double leaves is we're going to cut apart. And I've mislaid my paper snip, so we're going to use this for the moment. Just going to cut those apart. One of them, excuse me, one of them we are going to die cut down here in the lower left. So we're going to slide that right through there. And if that little leaf gives you problems, or that little stem, just snip it off. There we go. It was hitting one of the dimensionals. And since we had trouble with that one, I'm going to snip that one off. And on the back side, I'm going to hit another glue dot right there. And I didn't get the glue dot off, did I? There we go. Awesome. And this one we're going to slide right under here so it comes out right by your large magnolia. The last thing that we have to do is put on the bling. So you have a large and a medium and a small rhinestone. The large one is going right up here. I'm going to grab a medium, and that's going to go about right here. And then one small, going to hit right there. And now you can see our triangle going there. And then your card is ready for sending. So I hope you enjoyed that one. And we have one more to go. Let me grab the supplies for that one. And this is what the third one looks like. All right. Got a little designer paper going on in the background here. And you might recognize this Country Inn designer paper. It is carrying over into the new catalog. Isn't that awesome? All right, slide that out of the way and let us begin. We are going to use the thick white cardstock again. It's going to open on the right-hand side. Let's give that a little scrape with our bone folder so it will be flat down here. The next layer that's going on is just plain navy. So we'll grab a little bit of glue on here and layer that on the white. There we go. Now we have a piece of the designer paper, and we're going to layer that over the navy. And you're going to recognize this back side because we are going to use a little bit of that in just a moment. All right, layer that over the navy. Very good. Just a tiny bit of the navy around the edge, but it just makes it look complete. Then remember I told you that we have the back side, so that's the front side. Here's the back side. So we're going to put a little bit of glue back here. Again, these measurements and how to do this are in the directions, and you can get those for free. All right, layer this right over the top of this piece of designer paper, and now it looks like that. Perfect. All righty, so we are now ready to put on the die cut, and this time we did it in white and layered over the navy. Is that not just absolutely stunning? It's just beautiful. So again, we are going to place a little bit of glue on the back side of some of these larger solid areas. Again, you do not have to cover the whole thing. It actually looks pretty if some of this pops a little bit up. So here we go. Gives it a little bit of dimension. So we are going to place this one right here. Perfect. Nice. Okay. Now we have some embellishment die cuts. The first one that we're going to use is this little die cut, and it looks like a bud stem to me. So what we'll call it is a bud stem. We're going to use a glue dot on the back of this, one of the leaves, just to keep it so that the whole thing isn't lying flat. Okay, there we go. Right up there, and that just gives it a nice even angle there. All right, we have a butterfly. Now this butterfly, and by the way, these shiny pieces are done from the holographic paper. It is retiring, so you may want to nab that early. This butterfly is one from a die set Playing in the Rain. Okay, and this is going to fly about right here over our flowers. Now we have two more double leaves that we did in the holographic paper. And we are going to also use glue dots on those. So let me put a glue dot on the back there. This one is going to slide right up here, right under that big flower. And we have one more of these. One glue dot on there. And we are going to slide this one right up under this petal right down here. Doesn't that just spruce it up so nicely? Isn't that gorgeous? All right, the last thing that we have to do is we're going to put flat backed pearls on the center of this one. And these are kind of iridescent, so it also gives them a little bit of shine. And so we've put, I'm going to slide that one over a little bit. There we go. Perfect. And there your card is ready for sending. I hope that you enjoyed the 3 cards that we are making in this video. We're going to meet here at Stamp and Go on YouTube every second and fourth Tuesday of the month at 7 o'clock. If you do want your card kit, be sure to place your order by April the 30th, and you will get a set of all that you need to make, including all the embellishments, when you place an order of 35. If you place an order of 50, you're going to get a package of embellishments along with that. If you enjoy these Stamp and Goes, you may want to join us on our live classes every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and you can get a schedule of those on my blog. That's sandylovesstamping.com. Look under the events tab and you'll see the most current schedule under there. And you can always get in touch with me. My email is below, and you can call me at my phone if you need any details. You can join us, hopefully, for all of our Stamp and Goes. And if you do enjoy them, please subscribe, like, and share. All right, see you next time.